Okay, so in 19.17 is asking you to calculate a profit maximizing output, assuming that firms are producing equal quantity under the cartel agreement. Okay, and the increase in the profits compared to the case where there is no cartel. All right, so basically, if the two firms are agreeing under a cartel agreement, which is basically agreeing to be acting as one firm as a monopoly and to set a monopoly price and quantity, and then after that, they are going to split the profit equally because both of them, each of them is producing equal quantity. Okay, so we want to see if that is the case, if the two firms are working together, are cooperating, then how much increase in the profit they are going to make compared to the case where they are competing with each other in the previous Cournot equilibrium. Okay. All right. So 19.17 is where we have a cartel agreement. Okay, so now the two firms are going to be acting like one firm and they are going to decide the quantity they would like to produce together. Okay, so they are not deciding Q1 and Q2 anymore, but instead they are sitting down together and deciding the total quantity Q. Okay, so I'll say the two firms will choose the total quantity, right, Q to produce in order to maximize the total profit of the two firms. Okay. So it's basically the total profit, which is the profit for firm 1 and the profit for firm 2. So what I want to do is, so they maximize the total profit by choosing the quantity big Q, where the total profit for the two firms is going to be equal to the total revenue for both the firms minus the total cost for both the firms. So total revenue is just the price multiplied by the total quantity sold in the market. And again, the total cost is just going to be the average cost times the total quantity that the two firms are selling to the market. Okay. Again, in this case, because the two firms are having the same marginal cost, then therefore the average cost is just going to be for the two firms, it's just going to be equal to the marginal cost, and that is equal to C, okay, which is equal to 30. So we got P minus C and everything times Q. Now again, we would like to substitute P, which is 270 minus big Q and minus C, which is 30. Okay, and everything multiplied by Q. So I will get 240 minus Q times Q, which is 240 Q minus Q squared. Okay, so that is the total profit for the two firms. So they would like to maximize that. So we would have to find a first order condition where we differentiate the profit function with respect to Q and make that equal to 0. Okay, so we will get 240 minus 2Q, and that is equal to 0. So therefore, Q is going to be equal to 120. Okay, so the total quantity, the optimal total quantity that the two firms are going to be producing together is going to be 120. Okay, and so given that the two firms are producing the same quantities, so producing equal quantities. Okay, so therefore Q1 star is going to be equal to Q2. So our I'm going to use a different notation to differentiate this from the previous case. I would say QM, which is the quantity under the monopoly case, okay, which is under this case, or I would say QC, to indicate that is the cartel agreement where the two firms is going to be producing QC. So I got QC, QC. So this is just to indicate this is the cartel agreement. And so it's 120 divided by 2, and so that is 60. Okay, so each firm is going to be producing 60 units of output. Now, if you compare to the quantity produced by each firm in the Cournot equilibrium, you will see that two firms are producing less under the cartel agreement compared to what they produce under the Cournot equilibrium. Okay, so over here, each firm is producing 80 units of output. So now by cooperating with each other under a cartel agreement, then they are producing less, okay, which is basically in order to increase the price. So therefore, the price in the market now is going to be 270 minus big Q, which is 270 minus 120. So that is going to be 150. Okay, so as you can see, the price is now higher than the price before. So before, the price in the market is 110. And now it's 150, so the price is higher. And so therefore, the profit for firm 1, which is equal to the price, okay? So times the quantity produced by firm 1 minus the total cost, which is the marginal cost for firm 1, times the total quantity produced by firm 1, okay? So in this case, it's just going to be the PC minus C1, everything times Q1C. So PC is 150, C1 is 30, and Q1 is 60. So that is 120 times 60. So that will give you 7,200. That's right, okay. And very similar for the firm 2, okay, so it's going to be exactly the same, which is just PC minus C2 times Q2C, and PC is 150, the same marginal cost, and the same quantity produced, which is 60, so that is 7,200. So if you compare the profit of the two firms under the cartel agreement to the profit under the Cournot equilibrium, where they are competing with each other, the two firms are now earning a higher profit, okay? So under the cartel agreement, okay, the profit for two firms is now higher. Okay, is now. So higher the profit of firm 1 under the competition, and the profit of firm 2 is the same, which is higher than the profit for firm 2 under the Cournot equilibrium. Okay, so the two firms are getting higher profit and they're producing less, and increasing the price in the market. Okay. Okay, so the increase in the profit is 7,200 minus 6,400, and so they are having an increase of 800, okay, in the profit.